to another interesting episode of Labor Lens, where we bring to you update information in the world of work and pay. I am Sharon Ijason. On this week's episode of the program, we have interesting news stories for you. Also, the Medical and Health Workers Union held its 10th Delegate Conference here in Abuja. Join me.
Is against sexual violence. It's against gender-based violence. We say no to harassment.
Sexual harassment, discrimination and all forms of violence against male and female workers are a common feature in the work environment. The story of this lady, a civil servant whose identity will not be disclosed here, is a case in point. Her efforts to claim her late father's pension in 2003 opened her eyes to sexual harassment in the workplace. She would not succumb to threats and had to take her case to higher authorities, and in the end, she was vindicated. She was lucky, but many others in her shoes have not been as favored, and that is why she has joined the advocacy group for the elimination of all forms of harassment in offices.
Harassed me because he wanted me to sleep with him before he could release my father's pension to him, which at the end of the day I refused to do, and followed it up by writing, copying the relevant agencies. At the end of the day, my father's pension was released to him, and I am glad I was able to do that. But what I feel is pity, and I'm sympathetic to the plight of women who do not know how to go about some of these things.
Although Nigeria lacks requisite statistics, the increasing rate of these vices has become a matter of public concern. Cases such as those involving Rachel Njeri of Makerere University, Monica Osagi of Obafemi Awolowo University, and renowned feminist writer Chimamanda Adichie have in no small measure contributed to the growing scandal. Some Nigerians speak on what brings about sexual harassment.
I believe that such kind of act is being done by people that are probably they are being removed by a particular influence of something.
You don't wear short skirt, mini skirt, leggings to office and tell your director not to look, to close his side. You want him to fall?
If a woman dresses properly, a man, before a man will sexually harass that lady, if that man has a conscience, he will think twice.
Nigeria has enabling laws kicking against all forms of gender-based violence. These women believe plans to adopt the ILO convention in June this year will go a long way to check the ugly development. They believe also that what is termed indecent dressing is no excuse for harassment.
We are doing this to prepare Nigerians so that all we wait for is the convention. Immediately we come back because we are already on it. We expect that Nigeria will adopt it.
Men walk about, sometimes they are hot and they decide to walk only with their singlets and their boxers, and women don't harass them because of that. So if a woman decides to wear spaghetti because she's feeling hot or she's going to a function that needs her to wear spaghetti, you don't go and harass her.
And ahead of the ILO adoption of its convention on putting a stop to gender-based violence at workplaces, the Nigerian government says it is binding to its ratification and domestication.
This ministry will do everything humanly possible to give, to throw their weight and support to the convention, to the advocacy you are doing in respect of safe world workplace.
The advocacy rallies in commemoration of this year's International Women's Day, celebrated every 8th of March. The group is sensitizing men and women on the need to shun violence against both genders. They are also advocating the elimination of every form of violence against the worker, either at home, as house helps, drivers or cooks, or in the offices. In February, the committee headed by Johnson Agbaima from Edo State held its maiden meeting with the Pension Commission. Pensions Acting Director General Aisha Dahir Umar at the time told the lawmakers that Nigeria's pension stood at 8.63 trillion naira with an average monthly contribution of 29.15 billion naira as of December 2018. The legislators said they need to probe further, but are unhappy that pension fund administrators have repeatedly shunned their invitations.
To our greatest surprise and dismay, we also received another letter writing to us that the pension operators will not be able to attend the investigative hearing. We believe this is a plot to derail the will of progress of this ad hoc committee.
The second meeting is threatened with a letter received by the committee less than 24 hours to the public hearing that PFAs won't make it. An angry committee chairman says the PFAs made of banks will be compelled to attend its meeting.
I have to seek approval to issue bench warrants so that they can be compelled to come to appear before this honorable ad hoc committee.
The ad hoc panel is mandated to investigate the activities of PENCOM from 2017 and alleged violation of the act establishing it.
What I will expect in the next 4 years from the health workers and the union generally is 1, collaboration and synergy, togetherness, where all of them who are in the health sector will see themselves as one indivisible body to actualize for the various categories of health workers, to achieve a purpose where health services can actually be accessed by the ordinary citizens in Nigeria, where people will begin to come because of the knowledge in the health services in Nigeria. People begin to come from other countries to visit Nigeria for healthcare service delivery. These are my expectations, and I will expect that government too will take the demand of the health workers much more serious, to a level where they will see that if they don't implement the demand of the health workers, it's like creating problem within the health sector, where you begin to see health workers leaving the services in Nigeria, creating room for brain drain in this country, leaving the services in Nigeria for other countries. And that is what we'll expect federal government to do for them, so that they don't create gap for brain drain at all. And I will expect the health workers to be focused and dedicated to their service, to the people, so that they can see the best out of them at all costs.
My expectations of the union in the next 4 years is that medical and health has been a union that has standard. And from all indications, you can see that even from this edifice and all the good things the medical and health have put on ground, our expectation is that in the coming next 4 years, that the School of Health we are building will take off, and the 150 beddings hospital, that's the specialist hospital, will still take off. And as regards the welfare of the union or the workers in general, the health workers in general, the medical and health has been on ground fighting for the rights of these workers, because the health is very important in any economy. So for the fact that we have a very strong and able president, he has been doing all these things so that the health workers cannot be marginalized in Nigeria. When you look at the trends of things that are happening, you can see that the health workers are being marginalized in every aspect of it. But with the president on ground, we have been able to, for some time now, there has been a lot of struggles. But we believe God that in no distant time, that struggle will come to our own as a welcome development in our favor too. So, in general, the medical and health has been a union to reckon with.
The last 4 years were appreciated by our members, even though the federal government was not fair on health workers in the past 4 years. Do you understand? But the efforts we put in trying to bring to the fore issues that concern their welfare Even when federal government never gave us much attention, the members appreciated that. So maybe from now, maybe the starting point will be, how far shall we continue to pressurize those issues with federal government that affect the welfare of our members, particularly the core issue of the review of the consolidated health salary structure, which government promised us in 2017, to be exact, 30th September 2017, when we signed an agreement for its implementation within the next 5 weeks. Since then, 5 weeks have turned to 2018 and now 2019. But even with that, the members still have faith in us that we should be able to find a way out, to be able to find a solution through government.
Actually, the workers have not been finding it easy. They have not been finding it funny with the current management of FMC over there. Why I'm saying that is because we've been receiving series of punitive treatments from them. And it's like such workers have been regarded as castaways. Sometimes when we come to office, we don't feel happy because of the treatments we receive from the management. And having been following the national leadership of the union, and having been following the trend of the unionism, we resorted to be watching them because we are peace-loving workers.